Thank you so much for choosing us. My name is Sharon Kalimbula. The top stories on our desk this evening. SESTUZ urges government to reconsider reopening of schools. Do not revenge their death, family of slain PF cadres plead. And PF in CHAWAMA call for the dismissal of their Secretary General Davis MWILA. In international news, taxi commuters in Cape Town, South Africa, still concerned about their safety. And in sports news, a LUSAKA-based sports analyst welcomes fast training of female retirees. Let's take a breather. Join me shortly for the details.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 244 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Thank you for joining us. The Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR, says the social cash transfer resource mobilization is better done within the nation. In an interview with Camnet TV, JCTR Social Economic Development Programs Manager CHAWAMA says in order to curb the misappropriation of social cash transfer funds, government should ensure that loopholes are tightened. Details in this report.
For a long time, the status quo has been that government mobilizes resources for social cash transfer through World Bank, the United Kingdom and Sweden, who have donated to 370,000 households. A recent World Bank simulation indicates that if regular social cash transfers are provided to all current social cash transfer beneficiaries, poverty levels will reduce in Zambia by 6% in 2021. In an interview with Camnet News, Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, Socio-Economic Development Program Manager CHAWAMA says it is possible for Zambia to reach many vulnerable households through domestic resource mobilization.
Allocation, we did note that specifically for social cash transfer there was an increased target. So from the about 700,000 households that were targeted in 2020, government was earmarking to have about 994,000 households benefit. And of course, that comes with resources. About $1 billion was allocated. Now, at the moment, in terms of the rolling out of the program, we have seen more consistent displacements.
Ms. Mundia says poverty levels in Zambia can be reduced via domestic resource mobilization.
Provision and financing towards social cash transfer. Like I mentioned, the World Bank has come on board, and of course their commitment at the moment is for 2021 and 2022. Already then that gives you questions in terms of what happens after 2022. And then we also have had, I think on the sidelines of the social cash transfer rollout, we have had even the COVID-19 emergency cash transfer that also speaks to trying to see how the vulnerable households receive some sort of help.
World Bank Board has recently approved a second addition of financing, which will expand coverage to a total of 750,000 households in 2021 and 944,000 households by 2022. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The families of the two slain Patriotic Front members have appealed to party cadres not to avenge the death of their beloved ones. Brother to the late, Gift Kasongo, says revenge should be left for God and has appealed to party cadres to instead show love to members of the opposition who allegedly killed the deceased. Meanwhile, Patriotic Front Secretary General Davis MWILA and his party will ensure that justice is served in the murder of the two party members and has assured the families of financial support. The two slain victims, Gift Kasongo and Davison Kavunda, have since been put to rest in Lusaka. Details in this report.
Two 2 of the murdered Patriotic Front members by suspected members of the opposition United Party for National Development, Gift Kasongo and Davison Kabundi, have been put to rest in Lusaka. One of the victims, Davison Kabunda, has left behind 6 children, while the other has left behind a child. And speaking at the burial site, brother to one of the late Eutas Mulongo has appealed to Patriotic Front members not to avenge the death of his brother, but instead show love and compassion to members of the opposition.
Very painful. Kamba utatu very painful, kamba utati mwana huyu afamonga nyama. Nzafuna kuti nitite appear, okapena appeal. When noso amini muli mpano, wa PF, mayuthi na wakuru onse, osa bezera choipa pa choipa ai. Yehova Mungu wamina aza kubezera, aza kubezera manzanga. Mukaipisa kufuna kumbezera choipa, mutalisowana ufunika kumulokera ili, muzindikani mutalisowana utafuti, waina mutalisowana ulikutari. Tuwaona gari kuti mulindi mdaliso, atuza mfikira.
Dani Kasongo, omulete okutira ti Chingangu, asha abana abali 6, then 4 boys and 2 girls. Then asha awakashi together with family. May God bless you. Kairi ndefo ya twali rapona kulanda okutira ti Bible rando okutira ti revenge if makulires.
And Patriotic Front Secretary General Davis MWILA has clarified that the 2 victims were indeed party officials and has promised the family to the deceased that justice will be served in this matter.
We will ensure that Nangoba police but they have to do their job. Investigate this matter, ensure that these gentlemen, they have to pay the price. Whoever did this, he has to pay the price. Bantu bambi tutemwafia abantu ngepo bali. Lidia bafa mwabutuka na bakashina bana. Us as a party, we want to make a commitment. Ababa fa bana bakota bakashina bana. So provincial chairman, I'm directing you that you see the family on Friday or Saturday. Let's see what we can do as a party.
While people have differences in opinions entitled to support a leader of their choice, killing a fellow human being in the name of politics should not be entertained in a Christian nation. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
May their souls rest in peace. Still on the patriotic front, where internal wrangles have deepened in Lusaka's CHAWAMA constituency, some Patriotic Front members are protesting, demanding the dismissal of the Patriotic Front Secretary General Davis MWILA and Lusaka Province Chairman Kennedy Kamba. In the wake of the arrested self-proclaimed Patriotic Front National Commander Innocent Kalimanshi, the protesters have alleged that some party officials do not want the PF to win the election. They have therefore demanded the release of Innocent Kalimanshi and others that have been arrested for drug-related offences. They say the confusion being created in the area may cost the party this election.
Songs of solidarity. They claim to be firm believers of President Edgar Lungu's leadership. They are people under the watch of detained self-proclaimed PF National Commander Innocent Kalimanshi. They call themselves Americans, and they have been making rounds on social media. And Wednesday, they escalated their activities by flocking to the CHAWAMA football ground to demand for the release of their leader.
It is not a forcing matter, it is a request. President those are your votes which we have.
They accused some top party officials of dividing the party, a move they say may cost the PF votes in the forthcoming general election.
Ngakuliyama means yonse oyo mwinga kwatanga kuti mwachita ande 2 posts musende SG na bu president pantu ba SG nshiremuna ineti mwabana bena nga mwali bana bena imibombero tulebomba kuno ba SG kalimanshi na abantu bonse abali 40 ngakale babafumia. Those 40 people who are in the cells today, me I'm not counting as 40 because they have got extended families. I'm counting 1,000 votes for you. Oyo tuwala lusa kuno kuchawama. Kuno kuchawama boss ni bedroom yenu. Ikasangwe MP tukwete wa UPND mukomfashani. Boss nganamu monati ba SG tabalebomba. Bombeni amaposti abiri constitution yesunga irasuminisha. Nganamu monati kamba talebomba. Mufumia nipo mumbike poine.
They have called on PF CHAWAMA constituency parliamentary candidate to help unite the people in the area.
Tulomba kule mfresh westasila ikala panshi pishamo penso utontonga ipamwana owe kali manshi landana abantu abo abe mine kali manshi be kali panshi ifo tuli wa CHAWAMA kuno twalisenda mavoters abengisa na bambi twale bafumye kuma garden house tule basenda na batsa senda mavoters kuno nokutale register panopene bakavotora pa CHAWAMA i programu twali na okwebati inomba pa tombo kula senda bala bantu abo abasenda mavoters kadbonze twali efitenge nama t-shirt kweba atikosa ngwapera kuno kuCHAWAMA nomba i program yasanga babeka tafisa rifurungana so twapapa tufunje bakali manshi muri na 10 days tubombe na bali abantu bese batake vote ngatasila lunga twapapata
batabafumire kwamba 18 hours tulia mu prayer and fasting and we want to make sure lesako Abraham, Isaac and Jacob ala twasuka Daniel ntwali mu kirindi kyankala mu mulya ale pepa lesali mu asuka nkala mu shiyashonze shali tiro Mama, Syrian Paulo intubali mu prison. Ama followers babona ma organization yonse bale paper until bakwanisha filia. Jericho yalipo na until 7 days ile sayo abebero ko bachingulukeni Jericho iya 7 days yalapona. And if yala chitika twala ma prayers. Abantu ndata bafunye we are going to fast and prayer. Twala door to door mu bantu ko batento ambyo ku paper. Tento ambyo ku paper tubike peresa panta. United we stand.
Mr. Kalimanshi, who is currently in detention at the Woodlands police station, feels he's been wrongly accused by whom he termed as enemies of the party. He says he believes in bringing people together, adding that when he is released, his next assignment will be to reunite Kelvin Wariafube, also known as KBF, with the PF. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
The opposition United Party for National Development President Hakainde Hichilema says he sympathizes with the police who are only working under instruction. This in the wake of heavily armed police officers who fired tear gas canisters at citizens that gathered to welcome him in Nakonde but were blocked from entering the district.
Inspector General of Police Kanganja, it's Hakainde Hichilema again. I sent you a note just a few minutes ago to allow us to enter Nakonde. It's our right to enter Nakonde. We've committed no crime. May I ask you further to stop firing at innocent, harmless and harmless citizens. Please do stop firing these guns and tear gases at innocent people. There's nothing wrong we've done. There's no crime we've committed. You are interfering with the electoral process. Please, that's not the role of the police. The police is to keep peace and order. No one is causing violence, no one. We're campaigning in our own country. How do you see us, sir? As Gentiles or as monsters out of this world?
In other news, the Patriots for Economic Progress PEP has expressed shock with what it terms as haphazard decisions by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Party President Sean Tembo notes that the decision to suspend all UPND campaigns in Kanyama constituency on account of the recent violence in which 2 suspected Patriotic Front cadres were killed as a shame. Mr. Tembo says there is no evidence on the basis to which ECZ should should invoke such punitive action against the UPND, as the only suspects the police have arrested are the 42 who were apprehended in Kanyama area during a cleanup operation following the murders. The opposition leader has further said it is wrong for ECCLESIASTES to invoke drastic punitive action against the UPND on the basis of assumption.
By the Electoral Commission of Zambia to suspend all campaign activities for the UPND in Kanyama constituency on account of the recent event in which 2 suspected PF members were murdered. We say so because up until now, the police have not apprehended any suspects in relation to those 2 murders. The only people who were apprehended are those 42 who were arrested during a cleanup operation and who were subsequently charged with possession of offensive weapons. And so in the absence of any suspects in the murder, it would be wrong for ECCLESIASTES to assume that as and when a suspect is apprehended, that suspect will actually belong to the UPND. And when you look at the drastic nature of the decision, its overall effect is essentially handing over the Kanyama parliamentary seat to the PF, because without campaigning you can't stand a chance of winning a seat. And so it is on this basis that we wish to call upon ECCLESIASTES to resign this decision to suspend UPND campaign activities in Kanyama, so that
the Christian Churches Monitoring Group, CCMG, has implored the governing Patriotic Front and the opposition United Party for National Development to have a zero tolerance to violence. CCMG chairperson, Father Emmanuel Chikoya, his comments comes in the wake of the death of the 2 Patriotic Front cadres in Lusaka's Kanyama compound. Father Chikoya reminded the young people not to be used as tools of violence. He says the effects of violence have negative consequences on the families of the victims.
The murder of 2 citizens in Lusaka's Kanyama constituency is something that has left many citizens shocked. The 2 are believed to be PF members and allegedly killed by suspected UPND cadres. The incident led to the suspension of campaigns for the UPND in Kanyama. Christian Churches Monitoring Group chairperson, Father Emmanuel Chikoya, has implored the governing Patriotic Front and the United Party for National Development, UPND, to refrain from violence.
The strongest terms, the violence that has resulted in needless deaths that have caused untold misery to the immediate family members. According to the Bible, human life is sacred and care must be taken to preserve human lives at all times and by all means. Once again, we strongly urge all political party leaders, particularly those of the United Party for National Development and the Patriotic Front, to call their members to order, as well as refrain from engaging and spearheading ugly acts of political violence. It is time to own up and stop the blame game, as it will not result in peace.
Father Chikoya says youths must think of future generations before engaging in violence.
As the consequences of violence, such as the deaths of cadres, are more injurious to them and their respective families, who permanently bear the challenges of losing their breadwinners or having to deal with resultant disabilities, including medical expenses and potential even imprisonments and resultant court cases. We urge the youth to see beyond the short-term monetary gifts which are dangled in their faces and avoid selling their birthright for a pittance. There is still life after the euphoria of election campaigns.
Violence is detrimental to national development and it's the need to defeat it. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
In court news, the Attorney General has told the Lusaka High Court that some of the claims made by the United Party for National Development leader Hakainde Hichilema are accurate, but only to the extent that an operation was conducted by the Zambia Police Service. This is in a matter in which Mr. Hichilema has sued the Attorney General, claiming damages for malicious prosecution in relation to a matter where he was charged with the use of insulting language but was later acquitted. Miriam Kaimba filed this report.
On the night of 10th April 2017, the leader of the largest opposition political party in the country, Hakainde Hichilema was arrested by the police on allegations of use of insulting language but later acquitted. Now 4 years down the line, after the said incident happened, Mr. Hichilema took up the stance and sued the state in May 2021 in the Lusaka High Court, claiming damages for malicious prosecution in relation to the said matter. In this case, Mr. Hichilema, who is the leader of the United Party for National Development, is claiming an order that all unknown police officers that conducted themselves in an unprofessional manner during the operation to arrest and subsequently prosecute him be surcharged. He is further seeking interest on any amount found due, cost and any other relief the court may deem fit. According to a statement of claim filed in the Lusaka High Court early this year, Mr. Hichilema stated that on April 10, 2017, several officers from the Zambia Police Service wrongly and forcefully gained entrance into his home to arrest him without warrant in an operation that lasted until the next day. However, in the latest submission filed by the state, they have argued that Mr. Hichilema's arrest and prosecution was lawful without spite or ill will. Further, that the police conducted themselves professionally during the operation, and the operation was therefore not oppressive and unconstitutional. On the other hand, the state admit that some of the claims by the UPND leader are accurate, but only to the extent that an operation was conducted by the Zambia Police Service. However, the state denies each and every allegation of fact in Mr. Hichilema's statement of claim. The case continues before the Lusaka High Court. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
An arresting officer has insisted that the court should not grant 5 suspects bail as they are no fixed abode and may be difficult to locate if allowed to be released. This is in a matter in which Kasim Lungu, 22, and 4 others, all from Chazanga Township, are charged with 1 count of proposing violence contrary to Section 91, 1A, B, C of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the laws of Zambia. When the matter came up Tuesday morning for bail hearing before Magistrate Walia, the arresting officer, Detective Inspector Masauso Hangula, 42, told the court that he was in support of the state's objection to grant the accused bail on the grounds that during the time they tried to apprehend the accused, the officers faced some resistance from members of the public. Miriam Kaimba once again filed this.
5 youths of Lusaka's Chazanga compound who have been dragged to court for proposing violence whilst filming themselves will have to wait for 3 more days for the court to give its ruling over the state of their bail application pending trial. This is in a case where Kansimi Lungu, a carpenter, Joseph Wesa, a taxi driver, Justin Chanda, a carpenter, Joseph Chanda, a bricklayer, and James Kalumbi, all of Chazanga Township, are charged with 1 count of proposing violence or breaches of the laws to assemblies contrary to Section 91(1) of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the laws of Zambia. The accused in this case are aged between 22, 20 and the youngest being a 19-year-old. They were arrested by the police after a video went viral of them on social media while allegedly sending threats to unknown persons. Particulars of the offense alleges that the 5, on dates unknown but between January 1st, 2019 and July 20th, 2021, in Lusaka, jointly and whilst acting together with persons unknown, proposed violence to the general public by means of capturing themselves in a video whilst armed with machetes and wooden planks. Last week, Magistrate Jennifer Walia reserved ruling on the accused bail application until after she hears from the arresting officer in the matter. However, when the matter came up for bail hearing Tuesday morning, the arresting officer, Detective Inspector Masauso Hangula, 42, informed Magistrate Walia that he was in support of the objection by the state not to grant the accused persons bail on ground that during the time they tried to apprehend the accused persons, the officers faced some resistance from the members of the public within the community and their lives were almost put in danger until the whole Lusaka Division Police Command beefed up the numbers. Inspector Hangula further added that the accused persons are of no fixed abode and their ringleader is still at large and is yet to be apprehended. But the 5 accused, in their defense, informed the court that if granted bail, they will ensure that they attend court session without fail, and noted that if allowed to go home, it will give them an opportunity to get back to work and help their parents. The court has, however, reserved ruling for the bail application to the 6th of August 2021. Meanwhile, trial is expected to commence tomorrow, the 4th of August, and all the accused persons are currently in custody. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The abrupt reopening of schools still faces resistance from members of the public and teacher unions. This and more after the break.
To you, dear esteemed customers, as AMTEL, we're glad to bring something of excitement to you, and it's a promotion we've dubbed YATU, which simply means it's yours. And in this promotion, we're giving benefits that are tailored to you specifically as a customer, depending on the profile or the segment that you're sitting on as a customer. And in this promotion, we are saying you will get from as low as 13 benefits amounting to over 500%, and it's all for you so that you get more benefits. So to know more about YATU, stay on.
YATU is a promotion that offers AMTEL customers amazing benefits that are made just for you. AMTEL customers will get amazing benefits of over 500% bonus back the value that they use when they subscribe to a YATU offer. YATU benefits will be usable for AMTEL to AMTEL calls, AMTEL to AMTEL SMSs, and browsing on pay-as-you-go defined rates. For you to access the amazing YATU offers, all you have to do is dial *335# and select option 1 to purchase the offer that best suits you. AMTEL customers will have the ability to actually purchase the YATU benefit more than once. So this means you can purchase the offer twice, you can purchase the offer 3 times, and the benefits will be accumulative at the end of the day. YATU benefits will be able to be redeemed if you subscribe to the same offer within a 5-day period. So if you have unused benefits from the previous day and the expiry date comes, you can still subscribe to the same offer within 5 days and your benefits will be able to accumulate. How amazing is that? For you to check your YATU benefit balance, all you have to do is dial *335# and select option 2 and you'll be able to see your current balance.
On August 12th, we have a choice to make. Perhaps the most important choice in our country's history. One option is to stick with this government and keep things how they are. But after 10 years, we all know what this will mean. More unemployment, more empty plates, more empty pockets. But yet, alternatively, we can embrace change. Change that will create jobs, reduce prices, and more importantly, put food on our tables. Change that will restore hope and move Zambia forward. Sometimes, politics can feel complicated, but this choice could not be clearer. Change for a better life, or 5 more years like the last 10. On August 12th, the choice is yours. The future of your family, the future of our country is in your hands.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962-642-490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 244 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
You're still watching Camnet News. Thank you for staying on. We'll continue with the rest of the news. Some residents of Lusaka have expressed concern over the abrupt reopening of schools, saying they should have been given ample time to prepare. Others have, however, supported the move, stating that it is good considering the pupils are lagging behind academically and being exposed to other vices. Meanwhile, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting Services Permanent Secretary Amos Malupenga has clarified the reopening of schools.
Following the announcement of the reopening of schools slated for Thursday, 5th August 2021 by government, parents have received this development with mixed feelings as they share their opinions over the same. Speaking with Camnet News, CHAWAMA residents says the decision has caught them unaware and that it will negatively affect their preparations.
Sema parents tezofuna chivana va school na mabudget ametenze nayo ni hapa 16 not year manje. Kazambo ndo chitacha ni ku school manje. Ma teachers wali busy na bama elections ndana zambo wakunzisa.
Because monga ine mwana wanga nsapato alibe. Mwaona school fees ni libe. Ero ndine divorce. Pakuti ni pezi hapa nzaicho sakuti.
To others, the decision is timely and will allow the pupils to recover the time lost.
Maskuzi bashababu nokusegura ndafyamana sembe baferuka mkomboni sembe baferuka bashababu na bene ba grade 9 na grade 10 bashababu nokwati maskuzi baseguri.
Yeah, for the schools, children ought to go to school. It is very, very important. But at a time like this, it doesn't matter what anybody says, whether right or wrong decision in Yama schools. There is no decision that has been challenged in this our Zambia, which has been changed to be corrected. So they've opened schools, fine. Let the children go to school.
Permanent Secretary for Information and Broadcasting, Mr. Amos Malupenga, has clarified that the reopening of schools is a gradual process to allow parents adequately prepare. Furthermore, General Education PS Dr. Jobix Kalumba says the issue of school fees will not be applicable in this first phase of reopening. Alex Shimba, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Still on the same matter, the Secondary Schools Teachers Union of Zambia, SESTUZ, has charged that the abrupt date set for the reopening of schools by government will affect the smooth return of pupils into schools. Speaking to Camnet TV in an exclusive interview, SESTUZ General Secretary Stivekiso Wamoyowa says inasmuch as the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit DMMU has promised to support schools with various items, it is not possible to cater for all the schools. Mr. Wamuiwa says government should have waited for the general elections to pass before deciding to send pupils back into school. He has since appealed to government to reconsider its decision.
When it was announced that schools were going to reopen on the 16th, it was not an announcement that was made without any conditions. There were conditions attached to that reopening on the 16th. It was said that a lot of measures were going to be put in place to ensure that we combat COVID-19, we make the school environment safe. Inspections were going to be carried out, but one is not very sure whether these inspections and these measures have already been put in place and been undertaken, properly assessed, to ascertain that, yes, the school environment is safe. We appreciate, mind you, that yes, pupils have lost a lot. No one is against the idea that pupils should come back to school. it is the timing that is worrisome. Remember one thing that was said was that DMMU will come in and provide certain help, certain facilities. It's a very good initiative. It's a welcome initiative. But in our opinion, again, we believe that even DMMU needs time to carry out those activities. I don't think that DMMU today can carry out these activities in a day, making ready for schools to reopen. It might be a very big challenge.
The Zambia Road Safety Trust has noted with concern the number of traffic lights across the country that are not working or faulty. Mr. MWILA says the number of road traffic accidents are still high and loopholes such as faulty traffic lights should be taken seriously and worked on as soon as possible.
Various motorists and other road users have expressed concern over the erected traffic lights at various points across the city of Lusaka that half the time do not work. Adding their voice, the Zambia Road Safety Trust, through its communications coordinator, have equally expressed concern as why the traffic lights do not work, stating that the situation should be corrected as soon as possible as it compromises road safety.
You know, 3/4 of our people who use our roads are actually vulnerable road users. So if the traffic lights are not working in some sections, like we've noticed in the areas of Kablonga, Addis Ababa, and many other points, traffic lights are not really working. Because once we have traffic lights that are effective, it will also allow like pedestrian, when a vehicle to stop, it allows pedestrians to safely cross the road.
Mr. Miles MWILA further implored stakeholders to take matters of road safety seriously as the number of lives lost due to road traffic accidents continue to be on the rise, hence calling for more awareness.
We're losing more than 500 people. Road traffic related crashes that can be avoided. I think this is a serious thing that people are mandated to ensure that our roads are safe. I think they really need to do more.
And responding to the concerns raised, Lusaka City Council Public Relations Manager Mwaka Nakweti has attributed the inconsistency of the operation of the traffic lights to vandalism.
The inconsistencies that are being experienced in as far as having the traffic lights on is due to vandalism of the batteries. We are continuously replacing the stolen batteries. However, the contractor is in the process of securing the fittings to curb vandalism. The traffic lights are meant to be on 24/7. We would like to urge members of the public to desist from vandalizing public installations because replacing them is a cost on the part of the local.
A total of 532 people were killed in 8,407 road traffic accidents, which were recorded during the second quarter of 2021 countrywide alone. Iseli Kanyanga Mubanga, Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
The new airport in Lusaka, constructed at a total cost of $360 million United States dollars by China Jiangxin Corporation, is complete and ready to start operating. Touring the airport, Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Technical Services Dr. Kennedy Malama says the ministry is interested in good health services for the people of Zambia. Dr. Malama states that the airport is a meeting place for many people coming into the country, hence the need to inspect and make certain that measures to spread the COVID-19 are curbed.
This airport is complete, and we've been reliably informed by the managing director and the team that it will be ready to start operations. So for us as the health sector, we are very much interested in port health services. If you look at our 9-pillar response to COVID-19, for instance, one of the key pillars is surveillance and case finding, which includes port health. So Kenneth Kaunda International Airport becomes an area of great interest for us. So we've conducted a tour of this massive investment, and it's just to say commendation.
Meanwhile, Dr. Malama says the Ministry of Health has in the last 24 hours, administered 988 dose 1 and 219 dose 2 of AstraZeneca vaccines, as well as 2,254 doses of Johnson & Johnson's. Disclosing this to the media, Dr. Malama says the cumulative number of vaccines to date now stands at 286,967 dose 1 vaccinations, and 157,607 are fully vaccinated.
And the number remained critically ill. So when you look at today, you see that 276 of those admitted require oxygen therapy. In other words, they are on oxygen, and also we have 81 of them who are very critical. And that's a group we are very much worried of. In the last 24 hours, our multi-sectoral team, remember the team we instituted to look at infection prevention and control, they inspected a total of 2,338 premises, and we found that 2,040 were compliant, which is good, while 270, 12% were issued with notices of improvement.
This is Camnet News. We take another set of commercials. Join me shortly for international and sports news.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
In this fast-paced era of industrial boom and population growth, there is need to invest in smart ways of managing electricity and water consumption and reducing utility billing costs associated with the postpaid billing system. At Savenda Electronics, we manufacture right here in Zambia different types of high-quality smart electricity and water meters to customer specifications. Savenda Electronics water and electricity meters help you monitor your usage and gives notifications such as low units, tampering, low battery, and many other features. These easy-to-use meters makes it easier to buy units even in these COVID times and top up just from the comfort of your space. Favorable contract terms are available to both electricity and water utilities. For more details, get in touch with us on the following numbers: 0956 580 349 or 0977 498 318. Savenda Electronics, the real deal.
International Airport, located just 15 kilometers from the Victoria Falls, is now one of the best and busiest airports that Zambia has. Vote for Edgar Chagwalungu and the PF that have brought you change.
For too long, Zambian people have endured tough times, high levels of unemployment, lack of freedom, ever-increasing cost of living, poor health facilities, corruption, and injustice. Time and time again, we have been promised a better tomorrow, but things are only getting tougher. My fellow Zambians, someone is listening. Every outcry, every obstacle and pain brought by the trials and tribulations you're facing, he is listening. A leader with a heart for the people of Zambia. Only he can fix what is broken. A leader who stands for unity and prosperity across all ethnic, religious and gender considerations to live in harmony in a free and democratic society. Change is coming. Change that will restore the country and build it from the ground up. Let's make impactful change by voting Hakainde Hichilema.
At Master Signs, our services range from outdoor, indoor signage such as billboards, banners, 3D light boxes, pylons and neon signs. We are located at plot number 397A, Makeni Road, Lusaka, at Oryx Filling Station. For more details, call us on +260 967 100 090 or +260 966 999 981, or better still, email us at infomastersign@gmail.com. Master Sign, We will make it shine.
Africa is rising to a new dawn of integrity and accountability. Are you tired of being swindled or buying fake or illegal properties? Would you like to sell or buy genuine property? Would you like to list your property on both local and international market? Don't waste your time. Call the professionals, the SGK Properties on +260 762 166 018. SGK Properties. Your business assurance is our priority.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying on. The taxi commuters in Cape Town, South Africa, hard hit by the recent spate of violence, seem skeptical that the agreement announced Monday will ensure their safety passage to and from work. The truce announced by Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula includes, among others, an immediate ceasefire between warring associations, CATA and CODATA. Over 80 people have been killed in taxi violence in Western Cape since the start of this year. In other news, Kenya's Deputy President William Ruto was on Monday stopped from flying to neighboring Uganda in what the supporters say is a state-backed campaign to humiliate him. It would have been Ruto's second trip to Kampala this month. After he arrived in Nairobi Wilson's airport for his flight, he was told to seek clearance from the head of the public service. Here's a roundup of international stories.
Battle-weary commuters on an early morning train commute between Paarl and Kraaifontein. Many have turned to rail and bus services in fear of their lives after weeks of deadly taxi shootings.
No, I'm not taking a taxi anytime soon. I can't, I don't feel safe. I feel safer here in the train. It is delaying, but it's much safer, so I value my life a bit more than just traveling. So I feel that the trains should just work properly, then everything's going to be okay.
We don't have any mode of transport and we are scared to get into taxis. We are scared to travel and the traveling is very expensive for us. The trains, they are delaying very much, so we get to work very late.
Additional train and bus trips have been brought online between Paarl and Cape Town as part of the contingency measures to help commuters who've been left stranded. Under the agreement, all legal operating license holders for routes to and from Mbukweni, except for the closed B97 route, must commence services or face consequences. Municipalities will be asked to place a moratorium on issuing new operating licenses on all affected routes. Any further acts of violence will see all affected routes closed and operating licenses suspended. The contentious B97 route between Mbukweni and Bellville remains closed.
Until such time as I am confident that the violence has stopped, that the commuters are safe, and that from a holistic perspective, that it hasn't spiraled out of control to other routes. So as per the Gazette, I've closed the route for 2 months, and if the situation and facts change, I might change my mind.
An arbitration process to finalize the months-long feud is still underway. Vanessa Puna, SABC News, Cape Town.
Kenya's Deputy President William Ruto was on Monday stopped from flying to neighboring Uganda in what his supporters say is a state-backed campaign to humiliate him. It would have been Ruto's second trip to Kampala in a month, but was told to seek clearance first from the head of the public service and was made to wait hours before his flight was cancelled. It is the latest incident to plague the strained relations between Ruto and his boss, President Uhuru Kenyatta. The two erstwhile partners who came to power in 2012 through their Jubilee coalition fell out in 2018. Ruto is rumored to be preparing a bid for the presidency. Kenyatta, who is ineligible to stand, is alleged to be backing former Prime Minister and veteran opposition leader Raila Odinga against an old understanding with his deputy. Kenyatta and Odinga have addressed joint rallies in support of a bill to amend the constitution, known in Kenya as the Building Bridges Initiative, or BBI.
It was here in this boat that several refugees were rescued on Saturday in the middle of the night during an operation that lasted over 5 hours. In total, during the weekend, more than 800 people were rescued in the Mediterranean during a mission led by the Ocean Vikings and Sea-Watch. But since then, as after each rescue, the NGOs have to wait for the allocation of a safe port by the maritime authorities to disembark. Blocked at sea sometimes for several days, the situation is untenable. With the heat or seasickness, some faint on deck. But while the relevant authorities have been contacted, Tunisia and Libya have not responded. Malta gave a negative answer. According to a tweet from the rescue organization Sea-Watch, only one person with urgent medical needs had been allowed to evacuate. Hundreds of others are still waiting. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees called in early July for Europe to urgently adopt an automatic distribution mechanisms to provide a better reception for refugees and not leave only the countries bordering the Mediterranean on the front line. According to the International Organization for Migration, IOM, at least 1,146 people have lost their lives trying to reach Europe this year. But experts estimate that the number of unreported cases is much higher in this maritime migration route, considered the deadliest in the world.
We now look at sports news. A football analyst, Gezani Mbewe, says the move by the Football Association of Zambia of training more female football referees is a great move. In an interview with Camnet TV, Mr. Mbewe says it is encouraging to see an increase in the number of female football referees in the country. Mbewe says about 60 female and 150 males are undergoing training. Details in this report.
In an interview with Camnet sports analyst Gezani Mbewe says the move by the Football Association of Zambia of training more female football referees as compared to the recent years is incredible. Mr. Mbewe says it is encouraging to see an increase in the number of female football referees in the country.
Gather a team that will make us qualify. Remember that just in September we are having games, we need to play against Mauritania. So I think for me, we need the team to get started. We are still waiting for the provision squad that based on Quicksilver and they should be able to bring.
He says about 60 females and 150 males are undergoing training.
From all over Zambia, all the 10 provinces being represented, and FAZ is training 150 male and 60 females referees. That is a very good gesture in terms of referees, because also if you look at women.
Football Association of Zambia is currently training 210 football referees ahead of the FIFA and CAF tournaments. Blessings Shakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Well, that's where we wrap it up for our news this evening. The headlines once again. SESTUZ urges government to reconsider the reopening of schools. Do not avenge their death, families of slain PF party members plead. PF in CHAWAMA constituency call for the dismissal of their Secretary General Davis MWILA. In international news, taxi commuters in Cape Town, South Africa, still concerned about their safety. And in sports news, a LUSAKA-based sports analyst welcomes FAZ training of female referees. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, and it's coming from ECCLESIASTES 12:13-14, and it reads, When all has been heard, the conclusion of the matter is fear God and keep his commands, because this is for all humanity. For God will bring every act to judgment, including every hidden thing, whether good or evil. Thank you so much for choosing us. My name is Sharon Kalimbola. Remember to observe the COVID-19 health guidelines and stop the spread of the virus. Good night and keep watching Camnet TV.